What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday afternoon or evening to all of you guys. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is Betting with the Bag. Big show. We have Max joining us in 8 minutes. And I think that Nutflush Allen has a beautiful spot on the under in Giannis Antetokounmpo points, rebounds, assists under 52. Second half of a back-to-back. They should win this game easily. If they win this game easily, he won't even play in the fourth quarter. I think it's a very nice look, and I might add it to my card. Deer Slayer Ski, Lillian Pumpernickel, AM, Barbecue Sauce City play today, Indianapolis Colts money line, AM's Barbecue Sauce City play today, lining up a guru as well. Kevin Pine in the house. Is there a taint? Yes, and it looks like it's going to cash. It's on right now. We'll go over that in a second. Jeff Billings in the house says, what up, Jimmy? Let's eat. Get this money. I love the Sharks tonight in first period. Wow, and you like in the Avalanche. I don't want the Sharks with Aaron Dell in goal. I thought about the Sharks, and I don't know if I want to back them. It feels sort of like they're just sending Aaron Dell out to the Wolves. Also, Hurdle out of the lineup, hurt. I think it's a very exciting bet, Jeff, and you're seeing things very clearly. Yenny Toon in the house on the Colts plus 3.5, Panthers -1, Hurricanes -1, Ron Lofton, Knos Cat, Jimmy CC in the house. We got Red Girl, Robert Preston, Indy in the points. Wow. Reese, Jesse Nemeth, there's Nutflush Allen in the house, not applicable. Larry Savage, Tri Sawyer, Jim Rome's a douche, Reese, Keith Sadler, Nasty Nate. What a great group. Kevin Pine, Schaff, Canadian Capper 72's got 2 dope props himself. Shot on goal props that I retweeted. Man, I like them. Both at plus 150 lines. It's sort of like what I got in NHL, other than adding that under. I really like being in a spot where you have 2 plus money spots. So you hit 1, you're profit. If you hit 2, it's glory. I love it. Okay. Ronnie Chris said, anyone else on Will and Mary? I've been on them last 2 games in a row. I don't know if I'm going to take them here tonight. Got B Rabbit in the house. Says Colts 10-1 against Red Bulls. Team's a winning record. Houston is 2-8. All Colts games have been within 7 points except for last week when they won by 20. Go with Colts and the under. There's Lizo in the joint. Ronald Durante, Baylor first half -8.5, live -5.5. Check. Great job, Ronald. There's my guy Ronnie Christie, Connor Dent. Teams are 1-11 after playing in Vegas. Toronto's last game was in Vegas. Yeah, but it's a crazy spot for Toronto with the new coach here. Okay, so quickly, Blazers Bucks. I'm gonna pull up what the prop. That prop makes so much sense. It just makes so much sense to me. I think it's a brilliant move by our Nutflush Allen, and I'd like to have a little bit of NBA action tonight. And the Bucks could be up 20 going into the fourth. Points, rebounds, assists. There's just no need for Giannis to go hard. I love it. I am tailing Nutflush Allen. I think this is just a very shrewd move. I'm going to take under 52.5 points, rebounds, assists for young Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Giannis, that's at -120 in my book. I'm not going to line shop. I'm in. Count me in. And thank you for sharing your hard work with us. I'm going with my guy Nutflush. I like it. Under 52.5. Second half of a back-to-back. They could be up 20 going into the fourth. I think this is a very smart move by Nutflush Allen. Oh, the prop is 52.5 for Pinnacle at -160. Wow, -160 to the under. Wow, Ram, that's wild. Okay, I'm going to tail Nutflush on there. Pelicans Suns, it's still waiting to get enough information about the injuries. And we're just still waiting. We just sit here and that's all that's happened. We're just waiting and not getting that information. I was just on Roto World trying to find out. By the way, Kucherov is not playing. We'll get to that. In a second. Let's get to NBA. Let's see if we can get any news on Phoenix. And we're just not. Ricky Rubio, game time call versus the Pelicans. Has there been any market move there? Very quickly here. I know we got to move on to college basketball, and we will very soon. Let's go over here. Just a very, very quick look if there's been a market move in this. Ski said take the Pelicans. Don't be afraid to grab the Pelicans. And it's still at 4. I'm going to wait. Corey Simmons says take Pelicans, Blazers under 227.5. You mean Pelicans Suns under 227? Or which one do you mean? Sorry, let me just find out which one he means. Oh, you mean Blazers Bucks under 227.5. Larry Savage says Suns are trending down. Trisaurus says Nut Flush is now hedging because Jimmy tailed him. Look, it's not an NBA. We can pop up that NBA record. Rafa, can you pop up the NBA record? Come on, try it. In the NFL he should, but not in the NBA. My record's a thing of beauty. Okay, let's move forward. Dear Ski says few bong hits and Maximus time. Okay, NHL, I found this a difficult card. A very difficult card. Yeah, Bucks Blazers, Corey. There's Ski Profit in the house. Ski, I just tailed Nutflush Island on a prop that I love. Under 52.5 points, rebound assists with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I love it. Okay, Farsh says something on the Suns over. Well, Polo this. Both quarterbacks to have rushing TD plus 2,000, 20 pace 420. Look, I feel very uncomfortable with all the moving parts in this Thursday nighter. And Dominic says, I got to lock T.Y. Hilton over 58.5 yards. He averages 100 yards per game. Yeah, but he's coming back from injury. What if... I get it. I get why you do it, but I get it, Dominic. But I'm a little hesitant right now. Sean Williams putting in his action. Claudio, my strongest sport is NHL. Always has been, always will be. Yeah. But I'm just getting crushed in NFL this year, which is very strange. Up double-digit units the last 2 years in front of everybody, and then I'm just getting crushed right now. I'm going to stay off the Thursday nighter, and I apologize for that. Newfie Roman says, and Reese thinks T.Y. goes off. Billy Box says, great call on that DeRozan prop last night. That was too easy, Billy, too easy. I know you're joking, Trisor. It's all good. I'm just, a little edgy. Not sleeping. That's the only spot I'm on, Ski. I do find your Pelicans play interesting, and I just want to wait a little longer, get some more injury reports out there. Keith Sadler says, Pels are trash on the road. Suns for me. Larry Savage said, Brandon Ingram will be the best player on the court for Suns Pels. Take the Pels points. There's Russ B in the house. Okay, quickly on the NHL. And we don't have much time. I'll just let you guys know the spots I'm on. I found this a difficult card, but the plays I'm on I really like. Panthers minus 1.5. I think if you have Panthers minus 1.5, Stars minus 1.5, it's the type of thing that would be perfect for Vegas. You make nice sized bets on these two games. You cash one, you're in profit. You cash two, it's glory. And Corey Simmons says, trust me, tail the under in Bucks Blazers. Easy play. I'm going to copy and paste that right now. Almost, okay. Give me some time to think on that, Corey. Give me some time to think about it. Eric Nisbet on Colts plus the money. Ronnie Christie, Minnesota, Boston, Chicago, Dallas are the sharp action. And Ski Profit also liking the under in the Bucks game. Open up at 230.5. You can get it at 220. Pinnacle, yeah, pushing it down. Wow. Okay, I think I might pull the trigger on that with you guys, but I'm going to give it a second. And no Aaron Baines for the Suns. So NHL, I love the Stars minus 1.5. I like the Panthers a lot, minus 1.5. I made the Panthers bet last night. I liked it so much. And then I'm on the under in the Kings-Oilers game. And I just felt this was a tricky card. I lean towards the Islanders. The Islanders makes a ton of sense here. On their streak, and you're getting a minus 130. But why just a minus 130? It's strange. Very, very strange. Ty Sawyer parlayed Utah with the DeRozan prop. I love that. Jeff Billings, Brandon Ingram, double-doubles. I still want him to know that he's healthy at this point. And Eric Bisbet said, I pounded it for $500. Let's see, plus line moving in our direction. Okay, and then, so I lean towards the Islanders, and I also lean towards the under 6.5 in Chicago, Tampa, but I'm not going to pull the trigger there. Either McElhaney in goal, which I don't mind, but I'm not. And Dominic Lara agrees with that under. All right, I may make a move on the under, but let's bring Maxwell Smart onto the show. We're going to get him called right now and see what kind of moves. Dominic Lara liking the under too. Sure, the under makes sense. There's Canadian Capper. There's one of his props. Canadian Capper, if you could post them both here, that would be great. I would love that. Post them both. All right, let's talk about action that's going on right now while we're getting Maxwell ready to go. Right now, we have action from both of our guys. We have action from Matt Randall. He is on Baylor minus 14.5, and it was a spot where Matt Randall was going right up against Max. Max has 3 plays on right now as well. Let's go over the plays that Max, and that was the taint play today was Baylor. Maxwell Smart right now, he's got the Ohio Baylor spot, which is just sitting right at the number. Let me move over to NCAA basketball. He also made Tulane plus 12 a look on his card, and damn, Tulane didn't pull it off. They were right there. So Tulane lost by 14. It sucks. And then he's also on St. Joe's plus 13.5, and St. Joe's lost by 8. So that was a casher for Max. Okay, let's keep rolling along here, and let's bring in the man we speak so highly of, Maxwell Smart, in the house. He's got 3 plays that 2 have finished, and one's on right now. Then he's got 3 plays that he already locked in. As far as I know, we'll ask him if he's locked in some more. So, without further ado, let's bring in our guy, Max. Rafa, can you roll the intro for Maxwell Smart?
It wasn't until 2018 that the diamond in the rough went from hooligan to king of the world.
The guy couldn't play for shit, dog. He was awful. But can he cap? Guess he can.
Maxwell Smart in the house. Thursday evening. How you doing right now, my man?
Obviously it's a tense time for me right now. Got a bunch of games going on, a bunch of games starting off, and it's been a mixed bag of results, as you can obviously tell. And I'm just hoping that we can get it back on track and start off with this night slate.
Yeah. I've had the Siena loss was heartbreaking. I had a not a good day with my action following you yesterday, but I believe in you. I believe in you very, very much, and I'm ready to get back at it again. Can we pop up our guy Maxwell Smart's official record here at Betting with the Bag, official NCAA record, and Jeff Billings just put 100 on the Brandon Ingram double-double. There we go, sitting 16 games over 500 plus 7.89 units with 3.87% ROI, and the best bets not in the right direction, and but we can switch that fast, and I know that we will. There's DJ Big Boss Nash. We got Anna Merrick joining us. Not applicable says Max in the dumpers. I do not think that if this is being in the dumpers, the guy's got a nice ROI, 16 games over 500. Let's get after it right now. Max, you got a spot on this card, and it's popping off in 45 minutes. You are on Duquesne. You got Duquesne minus 5.5, minus 110, and it is now minus 7 across the board, 7.5 at Bovada. Why are you on Duquesne here this evening?
So what I've been watching from Indiana State is that Jordan Barnes is just not the running mate that Tyreek Key needs. The guy's shooting terrible from the free throw line, terrible from the three-point line. He just looks off, He's still handling the ball. He's still taking a lot of shots. It's just not a situation where I have a lot of faith in Indiana State being able to hang with Duquesne, who is very good defensively and very good offensively. I think that for Indiana State, you need some contributions from some of your guys like Christian Williams and Trey Williams, Devion Washington, but you're just not seeing it so far. This is a team that shoots good from the free throw line, but they're going up against a Duquesne team that shoots better from the free throw line. If Indiana State wants to hang in this game, they're going to have to get the three-point shot off, and that's Duquesne's defensive specialty, where they're holding teams so far in this early season under 20%. I look for Sincere Carey to carry his Duquesne Dukes to victory. I look for Bailey Steele and Michael Hughes and Marcus Weathers to dominate in the front court. You got 3 guys that really want to slow down, play a gritty style similar to the way that Ball State did, and we saw how that game worked out. So Duquesne was a play I had to get on.
Duquesne was a play he had to get on, and he did. If you want it now, you'd have to take it at 7. If you follow Max on Twitter, you would have got it nicely at 5.5. That's Max's first look. Duquesne minus 5.5 and minus 110. Then Max is backing his boys. UConn playing this evening. Buffalo at Connecticut. Connecticut opening up at -2. And wow, it's already up to 3 at all these books. It was 2.5 just half an hour ago. Max, why are you backing your boys here? And Max has not been afraid to fade UConn, and we cashed when he did early in the season. Max, Buffalo, Connecticut, why are you on UConn?
Well, I think that this Buffalo team, I watched them with my own eyes. I saw the addition of Gabe Grant and Antoine Johnson and what they're doing for this Buffalo team. But when I look at my UConn Huskies, it's time for us to freaking get off the schneid. We got that big win against Florida, which I am worried about a little bit of a letdown spot. But I think that we're aware of what Buffalo's going to try and do. Buffalo's going to try and get into the lane, get those short jump shots. Ronaldo Segou, he showed that to me with my own eyes against Harvard, where he was the MVP of the game. I look for UConn to play some good defense. I look for the front court of Tyler Poley and Josh Carlton and the freshman 4-star sensation Akok to have a good game defensively. I'm not talking about offensively. We got Christian Vitale and Alturi Gilbert in the backcourt. Hopefully, we got enough. Senior classmen, and we got enough in-game experience to take care of this. We're going to an unfamiliar gym. We're going to a different place where maybe some guys are worried about having a good time in the sun. Well, it's time to get to work. We saw what Buffalo did when Harvard took them lightly, and I don't think Connecticut's going to do that either. However, I will say that there is value on Buffalo in the first half, but the only way that I do it is take them on the money line.
But you're going to stick with your spot right now on UConn -2 at -110.
I'm sticking with my UConn full game, but that doesn't mean that I may not add Buffalo first half for the show record. Once we get through my other pick, I'll get to that.
Okay, questions are coming in as well. I am tailing Corey Simmons on the under in Bucks Blazers. He says, trust me. Tail the under, Bucks Blazers, easy play. Under 229.5. Okay, I got 2 spots on NBA. That's exciting. Tailing our Nutflesh Allen and then tailing our guy Corey Simmons. So I'm in. Okay, we're going to keep rolling along, Max. And I am going to tail UConn. I'm going to tail UConn. I'm going to line shot for myself. There's Robbie Tagaloa, the Samoan Thunder with us. And I am copying and pasting your questions, Scott. We're going to get to them soon. The next spot on Max's card is this Drake game. Let me get to spreads and totals here. Sportsreview.com, SBR odds page, the best odds page in the business. And here we go, Drake. Let's get to Drake game here. Lehigh versus Drake. This total opened up at 144. It's down to 141.5, but Bookmaker, interestingly, has brought it up to 142. That's interesting. Max got on the under 143.5. Why are you on the under in the Drake game?
This Drake team definitely is a team that is going to impress you offensively at home, but they can also play defense. They close out nicely on jump shot shooters. They pack the paint when they see that they're being exploited. I like how this team is coached. I like how this team plays together. And I think that with Tremel Murphy being suspended, I think that you lose a really nice piece to the offense that you were counting on in the preseason. But Liam Robbins is showing up. DJ Wilkins is showing up. There's a lot of guys that are stepping up in the absence of Murphy, and I think that tonight we're going to see that. This is a team that's been dominant on home court. This is a team that's been dominant ATS and 2-year bankroll, and we have to take into consideration what we're playing against in this Lehigh team. This isn't the hot three-point shooting team of last year. Jordan Cohen, who shot 47% from 3 last year, he's down in the low 30s. Reed Fenton, he's the next guy that's supposed to be taking up the freaking mantle of backcourt scorer, and I just don't have any faith in him being able to consistently score with a high volume of shot attempts. I think that when you have a solid front court with Garrett Sturtz, and Liam Robbins, I think that you have a good fundamental freaking piece to stop people from penetrating. And we know with this move back 3-point line, there's a lot more room to get in the lane. So if you got solid pieces like that, then guys that can guard on the perimeter like Anthony Murphy, I'm solid with this Drake under. I would have suggested to take Drake full game, but I got them -9 overnight, and now at 10 or 10.5. I can't really tell you to jump on that.
I hear that, absolutely. I'm on UConn minus 2.5, minus 105. I'm going to be. I thought that the only Pinnacle was at the 2.5, but no. Heritage is also at 2.5 minus 105. So I'm going to go there. Okay, let's keep rolling right now, Max. It is audition time. So those are the three. Or is there any more plays that you added as official low bag plays?
No, I don't think there was. There's only the 5.
All right. Let's get after it. What's the first edition you want on the card?
Okay, so the first edition I want to put on the card is going to be a game that might seem a little obvious. I don't feel like that. I think that this is an interesting spot that we're going to have to get a supreme performance from this team, and I think that we're going to get it. They are the Arizona Wildcats. I like them full game. I think that they smack South Dakota State with something that I'm not going to say out loud, but this is a team that has really shown that they are complete, that they are looking to hurt people on the court, and I think that's what we get tonight from them. I think that Arizona puts a stomping on South Dakota State. I really like the freshman. Obviously, Nico Mannon, he has red hair, so you know how I feel about redheads. They have no souls. But with Zeke Ninyaj, he's really bursted onto the scene, and I love a tall person that can score the basketball at percentages that he's doing it. The fact is, this Arizona team hits their free throws. They hit a three-point shot at over 40%. They're hitting over 50% from the field, and I think that at home, they're looking to take it up a notch. I think you obviously got to be aware of Brandon Key and Doug Wilson on the South Dakota State side, but in my mind, this is an Arizona first half and full game play, and I'd like to make it official, please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Harry, I think that they should just wait this out. I think they should just wait this out with the Devils right now. Young team and new pieces, and I think it shouldn't be judged at 20-game mark. It should be judged at the 45-game mark. Let's grab Arizona right now for Max. 14th ranked Arizona opening up at minus 23. There is a 24.5 at minus 110 at UH. Wow. And Pinnacle's up to 26. And Max wants Arizona. Full game, Max?
Yes, please.
Arizona. And you don't think that the 24.5 is too much? You think they get this?
Yeah, I bet 24.5, so if I put my money on it, then I believe in it.
All right, I'm going to tail that spot. Okay, let's keep rolling along, Max. What's your next edition?
All right, so my next edition is going to be Winthrop. This is going to be their home opener versus a D1 opponent. I am aware of them starting slow, but I do think that with DJ Burns and frickin' what's his name, Josh Ferguson, I think that this is a team that has the ability to slow down the pace, really pack the paint, score efficiently, because we know that they're not shooting free throws well. If this game comes down to them having to make free throws, we're screwed when it comes to the spread if it's close. I don't think it's going to be. I think that they're going to freaking go I think they're going to go berserk on Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech, listen, this is a team that struggles to score 60 points. I know that we're accustomed to this season seeing Winthrop score in the lower ranges, under 80 points, which we weren't expecting last year. But I think that the defense really comes to play tonight, and I think that you just got to really focus on shutting down Junior Clay. He lit you up last year. Do not let him do it again. Hunter Vick, he's the type of guy that you could force into bad shots. If you're playing tough perimeter defense, you're not letting him get to his spots. There's going to be wider lanes. You just got to be able to shift, and you got to be able to get help defenders to be able to shift over without fouling. I think that they can do that tonight. I think that Josh Ferguson and DJ Burns have a big game. I think that the free throw shooting hopefully doesn't come into factor, and we see a good defensive performance from Winthrop, and they dominate on their home court. So if I can get Winthrop minus 14 or 14.5, I'll make it official on the show.
You can get him at 14.5. This is also a Matt Randall play. Matt Randall is on this as well. And Nilo says, I took Winthrop this morning with Matt Randall, both him and Max on it. Then it is a lock. Interesting, Winthrop. But the fact that they're slow starters is the reason why you're not going to try to get away from the foul line and take them first half?
I was looking at Tennessee Tech on the first half when it came to this game, but the fact is, when you're constantly giving up 40 points in the first half on the road, it doesn't leave me with a lot of happy feelings, I'll say. So I'm not going to make that official.
It opens up
I'm
at
going to
13
give
and
them
a
the
half.
40 minutes to win it.
Pinnacle's moved it to 15 and a half. And low total here. Opened at 128. It's gone up to 131 and a half at Pinnacle, 129 and a half at Bookmaker. They're not usually 2 points apart in games. Winthrop minus 14 and a half and minus 109. Sound good?
Yes, it does.
All right. Winthrop minus 14 and a half and minus 109. What's next, Maxie?
Okay, so the next game is we're going to go to that rivalry game in New Mexico. We're going to go to the New Mexico versus New Mexico State game. This is a pretty simple capping. I've watched both these teams recently. I understand what the rotation is. I understand what kind of pace they want to play. I think that this is the most talented Paul Weir New Mexico team that I've seen in the couple years that he's been the coach. Plus, they play the zone. They have length down low. They have depth. And coming off that game against UTEP, Jaquan Lyle hit a 3-point half-court shot literally half a second after the game ended. I think they're going to be mad. I think that there's some injury issues for New Mexico State in their backcourt, and I think that's going to play into a factor. This is a team that has depth, but they're not bulletproof when it comes to personnel issues. And when it comes to the type of offensive pieces that you have guys like Manigault on New Mexico. You have freaking Carlton Bragg, the double-double guy. You got freaking Jaquan Lyle, Zane Martin. There's a lot of guys on New Mexico that can hurt you. And if they get into a game of pace, which they didn't against UTEP, which cost me a goddamn play of the day, I think that New Mexico wins the first half in full game. I have them as a 5 to 7 point advantage in the first half, and I already bet them +4.
So what do you want for official show record purposes first?
Let's lock them both in, Jim.
Okay, we're locking them both in. Doubling up on New Mexico here. Let me go, over to spreads. And we're going to get a full game first off with New Mexico up against New Mexico State. And we are getting, Max, a +4 at minus 101. +4 at minus 101 at Pinnacle. Sorry, copy and pasting questions. We are moving quickly here. New Mexico +4 at minus 101. There we go, minus 101. And then first half, let's grab this very quickly. Here, first half on New Mexico. Line shopping here at sportsbookreview.com. The New Mexico is +2, and you're getting minus 103. That's available at a couple different shops. What's next, Max?
All right, so let's go to this William and Mary game. Listen, this is an impressive start for Stanford. I'll give them that, but you got to look at the quality of opponent. Cal State Fullerton, Montana, who's changing the guard with Sadiq Pridgett. University of Maryland Eastern Shore, listen, they took their foot off the pedal in that game. It was kind of depressing how they did that. I had them on the full game. The fact is they're going up against a very efficient front court, a big front court, and guys like Oscar Da Silva are going to have to freaking really come to play today against them. I think Nathan Knight and Andy Van Vliet can give you 35 points in a game. They can give you 20 rebounds, and they got shooters on this team with Luke Lowe, with Thornton. These are guys that can shoot the 3 ball, and when you got good inside and out, you can stay within the game. We saw how that happened against. We saw what happened in the game against against Oklahoma. They were really in it. They were playing their kind of pace in the first half. Oklahoma was able to adjust at halftime and really slow it down and make it a more methodical pace. But I think that in this game, this is a different quality of opponent. I think that William & Mary comes to play today. I think that there's value on the first half if they're +3 or better. So what can I get, Jim?
We're going to grab it right now. Also, I'm going to tail Winthrop. Winthrop. First half for William. Oh, I thought I'm on right here. First half. Okay, sorry. Very quickly. This can't be right. If you're looking, is this wrong? Let me see. Go to full game. Maybe it's stalled here. William and Mary first half, they were hanging +7, but is that right? I'm questioning this here. William and Mary.
Yeah, I see a 7.
Okay, yeah, there's a 7, but it's heavily juiced. So would you prefer 6.5 instead? I'll give you the exact numbers right now on William and Mary. +7 at -130 or +6.5 at -110. Oh, +6.5 at -105.
Yeah, I'll take the 6.5 at -105 because, as I said, I like them +3 or better.
William and Mary +6.5 at -105. William and Mary first half +6.5. All right, we are rolling here. We are rolling. I am taking time to copy and paste the questions that are coming in as well. And we had just a very quick one from Schaff wondering about your New Mexico spot. The money line's a +155, but you'd prefer the points?
I prefer the points just because I'm doubling up, and as we saw from last night, some of my double ups weren't that great. So I'm going to play it the safe way, and obviously there's always live betting. So hopefully I don't get kicked off Twitter, and I'll be able to post about it.
Okay. What's next, my man?
All right. The next game that I want to add and talk about is this Texas versus Georgetown game. So obviously we know that Texas's second home is Madison Square Garden, and guess where the game's being played tonight? Madison Square Garden. I look for Texas to really get off to a good start against Georgetown tonight. I'm expecting it, actually. Listen, this Georgetown team has had to play from behind. We've seen it against quality opponents. We've seen it against less quality opponents. We saw what happened against the game against Penn State, where they fell behind at home. We saw against Mount St. Mary's, same situation. This is a game where it's like, well, I like what Texas is doing. Texas is playing fantastic defense. They're only allowing 23 points in the first half. And that is a credible number to me. I think that with Andrew Jones back, you have 5 or 6 guys that can really take over the scoring based on what advantages are available on the court. Obviously, you got to worry about Omar U7, the North Carolina transfer, who is a goddamn handful. Watched him with my own eyes, love his game, think that he's a great pickup. But you got to keep on getting that solid production from Mac McClung and James Akinjo in both halves. I think that they come to play in the second half, give Texas a run for their money. But on this game in particular, for the show record purposes, I want to take Texas first half if I can get them -3 or better.
You can get them -3, I believe. Let's get it right now. 22nd ranked Texas. No, you can't. It opened at -3. Only 3.5's on the board. You want a -3.5 at +101?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'll pass on that then.
All right. Interesting stuff watching Max work here. What's next?
Okay, so this is a familiar first half play that we've been betting and cashing, and hopefully we can carry it on tonight. Robert Morris. Listen, Robert Morris is going up against an Illinois-Chicago team that is finally starting to get back their pieces. Tarkus Ferguson played in his first game of the season. Last game, 4 for 16 from the field. Tonight they may be getting Marcus Audie back. I do worry about this game from the sense that do them coming back into the lineup affect the chemistry? And if they're not in sync with their guys, does it affect the shooting? Well, in that case, I really like Robert Morris. I like the Williams brothers. I like Giannis Mendy. I like Bane. I think that they do a good job of scoring down low, scoring from the three-point line, and getting to the free throw line. This is a Robert Morris team I like on the first half. If I can get Robert Morris, let me see my first half number. If I can get them +6 or better, I think that we're going to make that an official pick quick and easy.
Oh, full game.
No. First half.
First half? There's only +3.5's out there for Robert Morris. Let me get back there right now.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant like they have a 6-point advantage. So.
Oh, I feel you. Okay, sorry, my fault. Yes, +3.5. Wow. They do not want you to take Robert Morris +3.5 at Pinnacle. -130, Max. And it's -105 at Bet365, +3.5, -105 from Robert Morris. How's that sound?
Hold on 1 second. I got a 3.5 minus 110. What did you say?
Minus 105.
Oh, that's better. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Fuck.
All right. Plus 3.5 at minus 105. Here we go. Robert Morris, first half, plus 3.5 at minus 105. And I'm going to tail that. I'm going to tail that as well. Robert Morris plus 3.5, minus 105. Copy and paste that. Okay, keep rolling, Max. What's next?
All right, so we're going to go to the Utah Valley Lamar game. This is a game where I think that Lamar has some good value on the first half once again. I think that's going to be the theme of the show today, first halves. Let me just pull up my notes on it so I can intellectually verbalize my thoughts. And the fact is, I like how this Lamar team plays with TJ Atwood. I lost a bet on them, but I watched the game and I learned about them. I think that Utah Valley definitely is going to have a hangover coming off the Kentucky game. I think going home obviously is going to be good for them, but Utah Valley has shown a propensity to perform better in the second half, where Lamar's had the opposite so far with the results this year. I see Lamar having at least a 6-point advantage from a scoring point alone, and that's not even factoring my defensive metrics that I use. I think that Lamar wins this first half with defense, and I think that if I can get +4 or +4.5, I'd be very content and happy to take it.
It's another spot. Pinnacle hanging a minus 127 on Lamar plus 4.5, but you can get minus 105 at Bet365, plus 4.5 at minus 105.
I like it.
All right, Lamar first half plus 4.5 at minus 105. I find these very interesting looks, and when Pinnacle doesn't want you to make the bet, I want to tail it, and I'm going to. All right, I'm tailing Lamar here at plus first half plus 4.5 minus 105. All right, I've already got 5 of Max's plays. Wow, Max only has 10 of plays, so I've got half of them. Okay, Max, what's next?
See, I'm having a little bit of trepidation right now because I have 7 or 8 more first halves I want to get that I'm willing to give out. It's just I don't want to bomb. But okay, so this is another one that I feel really good about. The issue is the lines moved a boatload. Washington State, this game opened up at 5 when I was looking at it last night when I was on with the Sportscast CEO. I think that Washington State has value in the first half. I rated this first half as a 5 to 10 point advantage for Washington State. The issue is there's just a shitload of money coming in on them, and usually I don't let that come too much into my decision making, but it's really hard to ignore in this situation. I think that Omaha is in a bad traveling spot. I think that they're definitely racking up the miles. I think that Washington State can take advantage of a team early. Nebraska's coming from Omaha from 2 days ago. They were in Colorado before that, so they've done some traveling so far this season. I'm not going to say that's going to affect them. These are all young men in better shape than I'll ever be, but after watching Zach Thornhill on the road in the last game, I just am lacking confidence that I had before in him. And I think that when you have a difference maker like CJ Ellerby and Jalen Sheed and guys like Isaac Bonton, I think you have a good enough solid core at home with Kyle Smith, a fantastic former San Francisco Don coach. And I think that they start off strong and they get us a first half win. So let's go with Washington State first half if I can get -5 or better, please.
And I believe that you can get that. Washington State -5 at minus 112. It's 5.5 everywhere else, but it's 5 at Pinnacle. Washington State first half -5 at minus 112. All right, Max is rolling up these first halves. He's on New Mexico first half +2, William & Mary first half +6.5, Robert Morris first half +3.5, Lamar first half +4.5, and now Washington State first half -5, -112. What's next, Max?
Okay, so there's only one more that I've decided that I'm going to give out at this point, and that's going to be Duke. So we know that Duke's going to be playing a road game Obviously, this is a neutral court game. They're going up against California. We just saw what California did against in their last game. I believe it was against Riverside. I'm having a memory blank right now as we speak. But this Duke team, listen, they're not going to wow you from the three-point line, but they can play some good defense. I think that they are able to really get out to a good start. I think that they're going to be going up against a Mark Fox team that's going to want to slow the pace down. They're going to want to stop Duke from having a lot of opportunities to score the basketball in a frantic pace. But we've seen from this Duke team that the lowest scoring output game that they had was the game against Kansas. When you can put up 89, 105, and 74, I think that you have a good opportunity in a neutral court environment coming against a team that hasn't experienced a loss, has experienced a couple tight games, but I don't think that they've played the quality of opponent that they're going to get tonight. I look for Cassius Stanley to come and have a big shooting game. I look for freaking Matthew Hurd and Vernon Carey to have a good game. And I think that Duke just takes this challenge of California and their unbeaten record and really takes them to task, at least in the first half. So with the way that Duke is shooting and playing, I think that the only issue is don't fall in love with a three-point shot. Get your high percentage shots. Get to the free throw line with volume. And I think that Duke gets this first half. So what number can you give me, Jim? Because I had 9.5 to 11 on this game.
Minus 11 at minus 110 is what we can give you. Every book's there except Pinnacle's at 11.5.
Minus 11, eh? It's right at the freaking edge. No, I got to pass on that. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. It's a very interesting game. I'm happy that you broke it down regardless. Cal and Duke on a neutral site game. Okay, so are we at the point where we want to start with the questions, or do you want to add a couple more plays, Max?
One more play that I want to add. Okay, this is a contrarian play. It's simple as this. I watched Coastal Carolina beat us the other night when we had Middle Tennessee State, and now I want to try and get what I lost back. Not monetarily, I just mean pride-wise. So what I'm seeing from Coastal Carolina is they're playing at home. This is a tournament where Utah's coming across the country. I think that there's a lot of money and tickets on Utah, and I think that we're not giving enough respect to what we saw the other night from Coastal Carolina. I think this Coastal Carolina definitely has to shore up their field goal defense, and they're going to really have to work hard to get their three-point shot off against Utah. But the good thing about Utah is they're going to give you lots of opportunities to shoot the three-point shot. My concern is fouling for Coastal Carolina. This is a team in Utah that I think is going to be running out a lot more guys. I think that they do have some depth when it comes to different looks that they can throw at you. They can bring in the big man, Brandon Carlson. He's playing 20 minutes a game. He's giving you a good bit of offense, a good bit of freaking rebounding, and you've got multiple guys that are scoring the basketball in different ways. I don't want to disrespect Timmy Allen. He's a fantastic scorer, really gets on the glass, but his free throw shooting leaves a lot to desire. And I think that in a game like this, against a team that sees themselves as being the underdog and a chip on their shoulder, being disrespected on their home court, I had to jump on Coastal Carolina +5.
Coastal Carolina +5. Let's pull it out for our man Max right now. And yes, sorry, I was on spreads and totals. Let's move over because you were taking the dogs. So let's see what kind of juice we're going to be talking for Coastal Carolina +5. We can give you +5 at -105. That's available at Heritage. But no, sorry, +5 at -102 is available at 5 dimes. Coastal Carolina +5. Here we go. I'm going to lock it in. Coastal Carolina +5 at -102. There you have it, Max. So are we ready for questions? But no rush.
Yeah, I'm ready for questions now, bud.
Okay, let's start hammering away the questions. And if anybody has any, fire away. First off, Sean Williams says, I'm on Western Carolina -1 overnight and Louisiana -1.5 overnight. Beat one line move and one move went against. And then Scott was talking about New Mexico State. You already hammered that. G Sauce in the house says, Jimmy, I'm on Central Michigan +10. 10. He's on 2 spots. He wants to ask you about both of them. Central Michigan plus 10 against Minnesota. It opened up at 9.5. It's now at 10. What do you think of Central Michigan going up against Minnesota?
Yeah, this is a real interesting spot. Obviously, Central Michigan, we have this impression of them from last year that we have to really take a break and alter. Obviously, Dallas Morgan is really stepping into the scoring role for this team, coming off a 27-point game. But I need to watch Devontae Lane and Trevon Broadway Jr. a little more. I know what I get in David DeLeo and Rob Montgomery. You get a bunch of solid pieces, but I know about Minnesota. Marcus Carr representing the 6 up in the freaking beautiful freaking land of Minnesota. I think that he's a fantastic point guard, but he's got to be more efficient with the ball. He's coming off a great game where he had 15, 6, and 9, and it's going to be just about keeping guys on the floor for this Minnesota team. I love Daniel Oturu. This is a team that, in my mind, can really put in a lot of work. This is going to be the first away game for Central Michigan, and Central Michigan's been scoring at a real high rate, but they're going up against a Minnesota team that plays 29% three-point defense. They're going to freaking limit you to around 65 to 68 points a game. You know, this is a team that is going to want to win on home court, especially against a team with this type of offensive firepower from what we've seen early on in the season. We do have to take into consideration that one of those games was against Mississippi Valley State, and one of those games was against Sam Houston State. The game against Sam Houston State is the game that I put a lot more faith and warrant into. But in this matchup, I got to go with Minnesota. I know it's a big number, but I just don't think that these numbers of David DeLeo, Dallas Morgan, both averaging 19, is going to hold up against Minnesota, the defense that they play. If Minnesota wants to run and gun with them, then I think that Central Michigan covers and they risk losing. But if Minnesota plays the defense that we saw them play against Butler or against Utah, I think that they win this game and cover the spread. That's just my opinion, though.
The next spot that G-Sauce wants to ask you about is the total here. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Pittsburgh. This total opened up low at 124, and it's gone up a little bit. 124.5 at some books, 125 at Pinnacle, and he wants to know about getting under that number.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. It's obviously a real low number, but we've seen Arkansas Pine Bluff play into this range. Listen, they got 2 games where they barely scraped 120 this season. I think that we're in a good position to do that. This is the type of offensive team in Pittsburgh that will play lockdown defense and won't necessarily run up the score on you. We've already seen that. They've barely struggled to score 75 points in a game this season. So if they're winning and covering the spread, and maybe we can get under this number, but I liked it better when it was opening at about 126, 125-ish. If we're talking 123 or under, then it's a little bit of a pass for me, too small of an edge. But I like where you're looking in this.
All right, the next spot is Utah, Coastal Carolina. We talked about that game for them boys. I got you, Princess C. I will copy and paste that. The next question from Chad Costanza, let's get over to it right now, is the South Dakota game. Let me pull it up as fast as I possibly can here. Oh, we've done that already. So it's South Dakota State and the over. What do you think of the total in South Dakota State, Arizona? Open at 146. You can get it 145.5 or 146.5. What do you think of this total?
Yeah, this Arizona game, it's a tough total for me. I didn't really have a good edge from my created line. I was leaning towards the under, but if Arizona runs up the score, which I have a feeling that they won't have a problem doing, this is a spot where I just can't give you a good read either way. So I got to pass on this.
Robbie Tagaloa is on Clemson under 134.5, Texas Tech under 141, and he's on Duquesne with Max. Coact is asking about North Florida. We know that our Matt Randall added North Florida to his card. North Florida, Iowa. Iowa opening up as 15-point favorites. Now 15.5 at a couple books and 15 everywhere else. Do you agree with Matt Randall in backing North Florida as a 15-point dog?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of good intuition when it comes to this North Florida team, and what I've seen from them is if you can keep Wahid Aminu on the floor, you have a rim protector and you have a lot of good offensive pieces. My one concern is what the situation with Garrett Sams is. Obviously, you need him in the fold, and I can't find any information on if he's going to be playing tonight because he didn't play in the exhibition game against Tampa Bay, but he did play against Southern Mississippi. Oh, no, he didn't play against Southern Mississippi. So that's my one area of concern when it comes to this North Florida game. My numbers actually favor North Florida if you can get plus 8.5 or higher on the first half. But if Matt Randall likes it, I trust Matt Randall's capping and his line creating. And I think that if you're looking to get on North Florida, I think you should take the points with them.
All right. If you're looking to take or get on Florida, take the points, 15 or 15.5. Ronald Durante wanting to hear what you have to say about this Tennessee State Texas Tech spot. Total open at 141. It's now at 140 or 140.5. He says, Max, Texas Tech and Tennessee State scoring like crazy. 140 seems like a nice number for the over. What do you think here?
Yeah, I think that I'm differing on opinion on that. I don't know why Texas Tech would want to get into a run-and-gun battle with Tennessee State. They're shooting fantastically from the field, 55%. They're scoring 44 points in a first half, I think that Chris Beard is going to be focused on stopping these guys from scoring the basketball, not allowing them to continue on this rampant rate that they have. Obviously, you have to take into consideration that their stats are a little inflated based on quality of opponent, but this is a team that shoots only 11 free throws a game and only 50% making them. So I think that if you play Texas Tech basketball, you get on the offensive glass, you force turnovers, which they've been able to do 17 a game. I think that you got a fantastic roster, and I love freshman point guard Jameis Ramsey. I think that he stepped in. He is fantastic, aside from the free throw line, where he needs to improve. But you know what? He's a volume guy. I'm really impressed with the additions and how they fit into Chris Beard's system. I think that Texas Tech plays some defense and really puts a hurting on Tennessee State tonight. I just don't think that at 140 it's a number that I can tell you to get on. But if you have an angle, listen, I'm going to lose a lot of bets. We've seen it. We've seen me win. We've seen me lose. You got to trust your own capping. I'm here to break some stuff down to you, give you my read. If you agree with it, hit it. If not, fade it. Make money. That's all I want you to do.
Well said. Well said. Okay, questions coming in fast and furious. I am copying and pasting them. The next one is from Arthur Mead Jr. Says, can you ask Max about Akron versus Youngstown State? And he says, I like Akron. Let's pull this game up right now. Akron opening up at minus 9.5, now minus 8.5 and minus 8. This total has dropped 4 points from 137.5 to 133.5, Max. Should Arthur Mead back Akron here?
Yeah, this is a real interesting spot, and that's an interesting spot because of how we've seen the line move in this game. There's a lot of money coming in on Youngstown State. The first half numbers, by my account, favor Youngstown State at +2 or better. So the way that I was looking at this, I was looking at a first half play on Youngstown, and I was looking for Akron to play some good defense in the second half where they've been quite dominant, where Youngstown's been the opposite. It's a game where I see Akron being able to flex their defensive muscle, especially on the perimeter. Youngstown's not shooting the three well, but they're still putting up 25 to 27 of them a game. I think it's going to be critical for Akron to hold them under 5 makes. And with their free throw shooting and their guard play, the way that they're getting to the line in Akron, I think that's a great play, and I don't understand why this line's been moving the other way. I think that Tyler Cheese is finally stepping into the role that he was not able to last year with senior upperclassmen in front of him. Lauren Christian Jackson's a great point guard, gets his free throws, needs to cut down on the turnovers, keep it under 2 a game. But with this Akron team, I think that they're a great play full game, and I like the fact that the numbers moved the other way, and I would take them 8.5, Arthur.
There you go. There you go, Arthur Mead. Ganjapreneur, though, is on Youngstown State plus the points. Gondrepreneur is on Xavier minus 9.5. Duquesne with Max. Youngstown State under 137. TCU minus 10. App State over 127.5. Maryland Eastern Shore over 134. And Charlotte plus 4. That's what our guy Gondrepreneur is on. There's Brad Hansen in the house with Guru Sports joining us as well. Newfie Roman in the house. Okay, let's keep rolling along. The next question comes from our main man, Lizo. Texas minus 5.5. Is that okay? Or will that half point kill me, Max? And I thought about that same thing. And move up to, Max isn't on Texas. But who is it? It's Matt Randall isn't he? Go up. One of these guys is on Texas. No, Matt Randall is not on Texas either. Okay, let's move over to this Texas spot here. Oh, because you're on the total. Is that right, Max? What am I tripping out here? Let's grab it right now. This Texas spot, 22nd ranked Texas against Georgetown. Yes, you jumped on it. What was your play on Texas? Why don't I have it here, Max?
Oh, we're on Texas first half.
Texas first half.
Didn't we not take it because I could only get a 3.5 and I couldn't get a 3?
Yes, that is exactly what happened. What happened. And full game, it's moved up to 6, 6.5, or 7. So if you're getting the 5 or 5.5, Icon got it at 5. What would you say about grabbing it at 5 or 5.5? I mean, that sounds like a great spot, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. If you got it at 5 or 5.5, you're in a good position. I think that you should stand still. Listen, I already spoke about this Texas team. I think that this is a Texas team that's bought into the defense. I think that with a guy like Jericho Sims, you got someone that can go up against Omar Ute7. Omar Ute7's a great player. I already talked about him, and I already talked about the backcourt for Georgetown. I think that Texas plays better in Madison Square Garden. I think that it's a home away from home. I think that's a big arena that they're used to. I'm not so sure about these Georgetown guys being used to it, even though they do have some games there. And I think that they played a couple games there last year. So, listen, this is a spot where I got to take the better defensive team. I got to take the team that I think has shown a propensity to be able to play 40 minutes instead of 20 minutes. Georgetown's got behind, had to play comeback, and that's never a healthy thing to do. If they do that against Texas, they won't be able to come back. Texas averages only giving up 23 points in the first half. That's a number I got to get behind.
Next question comes in from Rich Kemp. Says, Max, I've noticed a trend with these neutral court tourneys. Favorites are not separating in the second half. Do you see value on second half plays in these spots?
Yeah, there's specific games that I see second half spots. One of the second half spots that I think are going to be UConn. I think that UConn, even though I'm on the full game, I do have a little bit of fear with Buffalo starting fast against them. Another team that I think does a good job of coming back is Coastal Carolina. We've seen that already once or twice from them, and the numbers say so also. As far as that on this card, I don't really see a lot of second half value except for Drake. Drake is the last team that I think that has a significant amount of second half value. This is a team that makes really good adjustments at halftime and really turns it on defensively in the second half. I hope that I don't need that in the game tonight, but it's something that I've noticed and I've backed up with statistical validation.
All right. Copying, pasting some more questions as they come in. The next is from our guy, Prince of the City. Wants to talk about this South Florida spot, Wofford, South Florida. South Florida opening up at -4, down to 2.5 across the board, Max. This total at 135.5, now down to 134.5. Wofford, South Florida.
Yeah, this Wofford team, obviously you got to worry about Storm Murphy and Nathan Hoover. But I liked Wofford at +4. Now we're starting to get into the situation where I start to like USF a little bit. But the fact is Alexis Yetna is not in the lineup. We've seen what happens when this team has to shoot free throws. I think that there's some money coming in on USF that I just can't really explain right now. I think that Wofford obviously is going to have to use some front court size and really speed up the pace and tempo of this game, and the easiest way for them to do that is have their big men running. I look for Wofford to really have an easier time scoring the basketball against South Florida. And this South Florida team, I just can't put my money on after watching that IUPUI game, the Boston College game. They're obviously not ready to ascend without Alexis Yetna. Michael Durr is not the same type of player. And I think that Wofford has an opportunity to really have a rebound game coming off two disappointing performances on the road versus Mizzou and Butler.
All right, the next spot is from the Icon. It says, did we talk about Toledo, Notre Dame? I'm on Notre Dame -8. The Icon's on Notre Dame -8, Texas -5, and Central Michigan, Minnesota under 152. What do you think about this Toledo, Notre Dame spot?
Yeah, Toledo, Notre Dame, it's a pretty simple spot for me. I like Notre Dame in this spot simply because you got Mooney's coming back tonight. You're going to have a little bit of a healthier team. Robbie Carmody is going to be back hopefully from the concussion. He's a key piece off the bench for this Notre Dame team. And I'm just not sold on this Toledo team being able to hang with Notre Dame. Listen, we got to show a little bit of respect to Notre Dame, who was playing tough like nails against North Carolina on the road, hanging with them for a lot of that game. And I will give a shout out to the fact that guys like Spencer Littleton and Keyshawn Saunders have really stepped up for this Toledo team, losing so much backcourt scoring from last year. They're good three-point shooters, good free throw shooters. That is troubling for me. But in the end, I think that Notre Dame's going to be able to win with defense. I think that they're going to win with slowing the pace down. I think they're going to win with limiting possessions and stopping Marion Jackson from distributing. There's some guys that you can force into turnovers on this team. There's guys like Willie Jackson. He's already committed 14 turnovers in 4 games. That's something that he's on the court for 30 minutes. If you need a cover and you got to cover by 8 points, that turnover can make or break your bet. So I agree with the Icon there on Notre Dame. It's not an official pick on the show, though.
Melee Payless Way is on the UCLA full game over, and Geghard A wants to talk about this UCLA Hofstra spot. UCLA opening up at -10, now -14.5, Max. This total stuck at 144.5. What do you think?
Yeah, this UCLA total is an interesting one, first off. We're getting a Hofstra team that's having to reinvent themselves without Justin Wright Foreman. And from what we've seen so far, they're having trouble scoring the basketball consistently. I think that against a UCLA team that's really changing their identity under Mick Cronin, I look for them to really put a beating on them. But I just cannot take them knowing that this line opened up at 10 or 10.5 for UCLA, and now we're seeing 14s and 15s across the board. As far as the total, I've been looking towards the under. I don't think that UCLA is going to prosper under Mick Cronin playing a run and gun style where they allow teams to stay in the game by scoring. I think that you really want to knock them out early, and the best way to do that is with some good defense. I look for UCLA to definitely take care of business. I am a little worried that the line has been moving against me, but in the end, I think UCLA is the play, and I'd be looking at UCLA on the under, even though it's at 145.
Well, the Taint play of the day has cashed, and people are cheering in the chat. And now Deer Slayer Ski says, now we eat with the Max play of the day. We're going to get there soon. Max, why did you not pull the trigger on Notre Dame?
Just because I couldn't get the 7.5. I had a 9.5 point line created for this game, and then when I saw the 8, I just pussyfooted around and didn't take it.
There are 2 7.5s available here for show purposes if you want to pull the trigger. There's a 7.5 at -115 at Bovada. Oh, the other one's gone. There were 2, and it just left. There's 1 left at Bovada if you'd like right now.
For the show record purposes, I'll take it, but I haven't bet it yet.
Okay.
Just want to put that.
Okay, but I don't need to push you on it. I didn't mean to do that.
No, I like the play. Otherwise, I would just say no.
Okay, Notre Dame -7.5, but you wouldn't take it at 8.
No, I wouldn't take it at 8 because then I'd only have the. I have less than a 2-point advantage based on my created line.
All right, Anthony Thomas. Yes, absolutely. I'm still on the Stars -1.5. I love my NHL card tonight. I like it a lot. Nothing Ordinary Sports says, I love TCU. It's funny you mentioned that. We were going to go to your play of the day, but this is a big spot with UC Irvine, TCU. TCU opening up at -9.5, now at -11.5 or 12. We've had a 2.5-point move at 5 dimes. It's total at 131. It's at 131.5 at Pinnacle, 130.5 at other books, 132 at Bet Online, 130.5 at Bet 365, kind of all over the place. Max, UC Irvine, TCU.
Yeah, this is an interesting game because I don't understand why the line's moving like that. I don't know why Evan Leonard and UC Irvine isn't getting a little bit more respect. I think that they've definitely earned it. When UC Irvine went and played Colorado tough, even though they didn't cover, they showed some fortitude for sure. And I think against TCU, I think that they're going to have a little bit more better opportunity to score the basketball. I think that UC Irvine would be the play that I would be making. I would be going against the line movement. I think that Tommy Rutherford's a great piece in the front court. As long as you have Colin Welp in the lineup, I think that's a big thing for me. And the fact is, I'm just not sold on Edric Dennis or Jared Grider. This is a TCU team that is hollow to me outside of Desmond Bain. I don't like the free throw shooting. I don't like the defensive three-point percentage almost at 40%. You can't do that against UC Irvine. UC Irvine's not a hot three-point shooting team to begin with, but if you give them opportunity, they will sink them. So, yeah, I would be looking at UC Irvine, but it's not a bet or a play that I'm going to make on the show.
All right. Would be making a move on UC Irvine. Same with Jesse Nemeth. Okay, Nothing Ordinary says, I think the TCU game goes over. What do you think about the total in that?
Yeah, I think that UC Irvine could definitely fall into a more offensive, a potent game. I think that when you're coming off a game where you score 53 points against Colorado and the offense was what cost you the game, I think that you're definitely going to have a more invigorated effort to score the basketball. I think that happens tonight. So I think that the numbers also dictated with the defensive shooting percentages and so far what the teams have given up and put up this season.
All right, and no, Reese, he didn't get the number that he wanted, so he didn't take it there. Okay, there we have it, Max. It is time for the play of the day. What is Max's best bet? I'm all ears. Take it away.
Oh, man, I always never look forward to this. But we've talked about this game. There's a couple guys that I respect that I cap with that are on this game, and we're going to take Western Carolina tonight. Jacksonville's played a lot of games. They're going back home. I think that Western Carolina, with the combination of freaking Mason Faulkner, Carlos Dotson down low, Halverson on the perimeter, I think that this Western Carolina team, the only way that they lose this game is if they don't shoot well. I think that Jacksonville obviously is a slow starting team so far this season, but I do think that they do play a little tougher in the first half, although I think that when we saw the quality of opponents that Western Carolina's gone up so far against the season, that leaves me a lot of confidence. And I think that Western Carolina takes care of business tonight, and they get me a winner, and they get me off the shot with this play of the day thing, because it's a little stressful. I'll admit that. But I think that Western Carolina Catamounts are going to be the recipe and the freaking prescription that I need, and I know that my man Sean Williams is on it. Makes me a little more comfortable, and I'm going to make that the play of the day, Jim. So let's break this losing streak. Let's get this winner. Let's serve up that cold blank soup the way that I know how to do.
Western Carolina -2.5 and -110. The taint play today, and I am tailing. Nilo says, I love Max's in-game live plays. Follow this man on Twitter if you want to get them. Okay, Max, one final question from our guy, Big Ragu. He says, ask Max about depth mismatches in tourneys.
Okay, so you have to be looking at the box scores. You have to be checking out what type of usage each player is getting based on the minutes that they're playing, and then analyze it from there. What we're seeing is that teams that play a lot of guys with more spread out minutes are going to play better on the third and fourth game of these tournaments, where the teams that are relying on 5 to 7 guys and they're playing 4 or 5 guys 30 plus minutes, that's where we may see a little bit of fatigue come into play. If we're talking about conference season, we're talking about March, I don't think that because of the schedule and because of them already being into the mode of playing high-end basketball, that it would come as much into effect. But in the early season, especially on these neutral court environments, I think that definitely is going to come into play, and it's going to matter based on coaching. I think that the deeper teams will do a little better, but talent always wins in this situation.
I love it, Max. Great stuff. And Max, are you on Live Line with the boys tonight?
Yes, I will be on Live Line with the boys. I will be not paying attention to football. I will be watching basketball games, probably being pretty grumpy, but I hopefully will pull out a money line winner like we did last night, cashed a plus 340. So I'm ready to go. The boys are ready to go. The Live Line is profitable, and if I cost you any money on these picks, just come to the Live Line. We'll make it back for you quick and easy.
And this is what Max is on coming up. UConn -2, under 143.5 with Drake. Arizona -24.5, -110. Winthrop -14.5, -109. New Mexico +4, -101. New Mexico first half +2 at -103. William and Mary first half +6.5, -105. Robert Morris first half +3.5, -105. Lamar first half +4.5, -105. Washington State first half -5 at -112. Coastal Carolina +5, -102. Notre Dame -7.5 at -115. Western Carolina -2.5 at -110. That is the play of the day. And I tailed 6 plays. UConn -2.5 at -105. I got a worse line than he got. Arizona -24.5, -110. Winthrop -14.5, -109. And I'm tailing 2 first half plays. Robert Morris first half +3.5, -105. Lamar first half +4.5, -105. And then I'm tailing the taint play of the day. There we go. Farshed says, Jimmy, I like Sharks and Sabres over, and Stars, Islanders, and Flyers under. What's your thoughts? That's going to take a little bit too long, but I was actually close. Oh, no, you're not. Sorry, that was the Blackhawks game. Well, I'm on the Stars -1.5. I don't expect Winnipeg to do much. So I think you're good with the Stars and the Islanders. Flyers under, I think they're playing that style of hockey with the defensive accountability by the forwards, so that makes sense to me. And I used to love Sabres overs. And when I first looked at Sabres Boston, I thought that wasn't over, but Sabres just aren't scoring. So it makes me a little uncomfortable, that one. But your Sharks Knights look, are they the same Knights as they were before? If they are, then the Sharks Knights will go over. I don't know if they still are, though. It makes me a little uncomfortable there. But I'm sure, Farshed, that you're going to cash tonight overall with that action. Matt Randall says, Max is the very best. Much love, my man, and thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do, Matt Randall. But truly, Matt's saying it correctly. Thank you for all your hard work and your care about us low baggers, Max. And you are an OG low bagger. Max, could you please do us the grow and follow Max at Maxwell Smart 420 on Twitter, and then you can get to know what he's on exactly and watch him on Live Line tonight with the boys, Thursday Night Football. With that being said, Max, my man, could you please introduce Freddy Fortune?
Absolutely. It gives me my distinct pleasure, honor. I call this a right to do this every day on this show, and that's to introduce to you a guy that I would call my brother-in-law if my sister would agree to marry him, Freddy, goddamn I love you, Fortune.
That's a good one.
Am I really his brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Oh. You know what that means, right?
No, what does that mean?
Me neither, I'm just trying to be funny.
Oh, okay. Was that successful?
Huh?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having some health issues.
You're having some health issues.
Yeah.
What's going on? Talk to us.
My throat is killing me.
Oh, so you're getting sick.
Mm.
Okay.
It's been like 5 days.
5
now.
days of it.
Yeah, I shared some iced tea with Larry.
Well, you can live a long life with HIV. A long, long, wonderful life. So there should be no.
I had an uncle that died of HIV.
It
But
probably.
that was back in the 80s. So
It probably became fully blown AIDS, though.
yeah.
All right. Here we have Freddy Fortune here to deliver his goods
Can
for
I
this.
leave?
He's coming off a big day, right?
I'm desperate.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Couple of losers, huh?
Yeah. And they don't lose just by like 1 point. They lose for like 7, 8 points. All my plays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should like change the subject of my segment and
Sure. Do you want to go back to HIV?
no.
Okay.
Oh, it's really cold in here.
Yeah, it's too cold. Something's wrong with this thing,
This
man.
fucking thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's been like this since I remember Pete when he came into the show and it was like minus 40 degrees in here and he was
That's a pretty good Pete impression.
thank you.
Welcome. All right. So, how are you going to stop losing?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay, well, what sport are
My
we
life
talking
is a complete mess.
No, no, it's not. No, it's not. What sport are you betting on?
Same as always, futsal.
Futsal! There we go. What country?
Spain.
Spain!
Yeah.
Spain! Oh, man. Princess D says you just licked your lips by my ear. Is that facts?
No, I didn't lick my laps.
Laps, all right. Futsal! What's your futsal action? I gotta make bets.
Yeah, it's Levante Dominico
Ooh.
plus half a point or a goal or whatever. I don't really care at all. At minus 138.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Bet365 a super safe play that I will lose again.
Wow. I think a lot of people are gonna be tailing you.
That's a great joke.
All right. Freddy's down. Freddy's just handing out L after L after L. And StatQuap says, put Max's best bet in the comments, please. Western Carolina, minus 2.5 and minus 110 is the play of the day. Look, you're making people sad out there. You've got hope, right? There's hope, right?
Well, they're paying us something that I don't think there's. Do you know what the aguinaldo is?
Yes, the Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do with your Christmas bonus?
Well, I have to pay some stupid credit that I have in my book. So. Oh no! Why do you leave again? God damn it! What should I do? I don't know what to do. I'm not a show presenter or whatever. Leche, los bookmakers. Leche, woo, leche. Please end my life now, Rafa. Please.
Leche, a los bookmakers.